always honing on your craft, be consistent, and things will open up. And it just takes time. It does take time. And I know people want to get things right then and there, but it takes time to perfect the craft. And once you perfect it, the people that you serve will thank you forever.
Hello, everyone, and help me welcome Deonté to the Digital Shift. I've been really looking forward to this one. As the Chief Executive Officer of TekHub Labs, he has been leading the charge on building next-gen technology solutions that collect data, systems, and people, and doing it with style. Your work at TekHub Labs really stands out in how you blend technology consulting, automation, and innovation for modern businesses. On top of that, his company also provides cybersecurity training for companies and individuals to better their security posture, whether it's at a company level or for individuals that are wanting to step up their level of technology. So, before we dive in, for first time listeners, I want to let everyone know that this is a relaxed conversation. It is not over edited. The goal is to have a real conversational style chat. We're going to keep it casual, go over a lot of cool points, but there's going to be no crazy cuts or rephrases later because we want legitimate authenticity. The goal of this is to have a great conversation about his journey and what's happening in tech right now. So, Deonté, welcome to the show. Can you let everybody know where you're calling in from today?
Yeah, I'm calling in from Houston, Texas.
How's the weather out in Houston right now?
Oh, it's nice. It's nice and sunny and warm.
Awesome. All right. Well, for those of you that are new, how this usually flows is we're going to start with Deonté's background and what's happening at TekHub Labs and what really motivated him to start the company. From there, we're going to look at the industry and focus on the changes across the tech landscape, especially around automation, AI, cybersecurity, and systems integration. After that, we're going to dig into the actual company itself of TekHub Labs and figure out what's working well right now along with their challenges. And then we're going to look into the future up to 12 months to figure out what is next for the industry. So, for those of you that are never been on the digital shift before, we specialize in only talking with founders, owners, innovators, and C-suites of companies that are shaping the digital future from cybersecurity to automation to AI adoption. My favorite part of these talks is hearing how the leaders like Deonté are shaping and translating complex ideas into scalable real-world impact. So Deonté, to start off, I've done enough talking. This show's about you. So, share us a little bit about yourself and your background and what really inspired you to start TekHub Labs.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I'll share my background first. I think that will be a good natural order. Ever since I was young, I love technology. I love computers. I love toys that had electronics in it. I did so many different projects when I was young. Even being young, opening the command prompt on a computer and didn't know what I was doing until I was able to understand later in high school and college as well. So I would say, I used to look at things and break it apart because I was very curious. When I was young, I remember having a radio and then having my TV and setting up the radio to the TV to play the sound from the TV out the radio, right? And I figured all that out by myself. I took a few chords, played around with the AM and FM settings, and there you go, right? So from a young age, technology has been a very important part of my life. Um, Growing up, absolutely went to, high school, went to college. Um, and then after college, I wanted to really help people in technology. And I was like, how do I do that? How do I affect millions of people? And that would be through my nonprofit. Okay. So um, before the nonprofit, I definitely started in help desk. A lot of people start off in help desk just to get their hands on uh, just on technology, right? They're trying to understand, what are the different facets of the company, right? We have networking, we have, IT and software, we have cybersecurity. So help desk was something that really helped me understand all facets of business. It gave me my experience. And then from there, working on the networking team, understanding, the OSI model and making sure that, devices work from layer one all the way up to layer seven. And then working apart as the cybersecurity team. And then the cybersecurity team was a whole different level, a whole different just atmosphere where you had to be aware of emerging threats and possible malware in your environment. And I got a lot of experience from working at a university. And then from then on, I went to work at some Fortune 500 companies. I did mostly cybersecurity risk management there, and I felt like that was an amalgamation of all my experience, from being a little young kid, being curious about the command prompt and putting together, computer projects to working in cybersecurity, right? Um, so what really made me start TekHub Labs was the need to inspire people and to touch people from different creeds, different learning levels, different ages. And I said to myself, I said, how can we transform the next generation of children and adults to be literally in technology, into cybersecurity? And now with AI, we want to make sure that we are teaching people in mass so we can adapt the new language, we can adapt the new way of thinking. So that's how TekHub Labs uh, rose from just an idea to something that was concrete and now into a nonprofit.
Was there a particular moment when you realized that you had this calling and you needed to start your own business?
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I do have a family of entrepreneurs, right? So uh, in the medical field, and we have even restaurants, farms, and I guess it's always has been in my blood, right? But at the core of everything, I believe service is the most important piece of entrepreneur, uh, ventures, right? So me serving people was something I felt like I had a great skill at. I wanted to serve people in my community, and I wanted to serve people throughout the world. And at the crux of it, I feel like, hey, giving people essential skills is something that I can do. I'm a good teacher, in my opinion, and I know that people would value these skills. And they say once you teach a man how to fish, he can fish forever. So that's where the idea came from, and that was my call.
That is a good reference. That's a really good line. Most people give people fish, but then they get addicted to the hand that feeds them, right? You
Yeah,
don't want to bite that
absolutely.
hand.
Absolutely.
So, so as the CEO of a cybersecurity company, what does a typical day look like for you?
Yeah. So basically, it is a lot of meetings, making sure that people and processes are in place. It's a lot of documenting, making sure that we do something once, and after that, we follow a certain procedure. A lot of coordinating, making sure that we line ourselves up for grants. Grants are a very important piece of the business, and it keeps us going. And then customer engagement, right? We want to make sure that people are getting the value that they signed up for. It can be hard, right? And sometimes we have to think about retention plans and what we can do to, spice up our offerings, but a lot of coordination with making sure that people and processes are up to speed. And we also want to make sure that our branding and our marketing is up to date, right? Because we want people to know who we are. People knowing who we are gives us a leverage, but it also helps people become aware of our product and services. Products and services drive who we are. And at the end of it, at the crux of it, it is serving people and giving back to our community.
I like that. So, two questions. One is for the people that you're wanting to help as part of the non-for-profit business, what type of clients or industries are you focused on the most? And
Yeah,
then number two, by generating that money, walk us through how you give back to the community.
absolutely, absolutely. So number one, the people who we mainly serve are people who have been disenfranchised. They need skills to help them to really help them achieve social mobility. Okay, so we get a lot of people who are from the medical background, and we get people who are teachers. We have a lot of teachers in our population, and people who just want to learn something new. Okay, and even working with companies as well, if they need cybersecurity training, they want to learn, hey, how do I adapt to this new uh, job market where there's AI surging through it? And how do I make myself more valuable as a professional? And from there on, we'll have cohorts, and in the cohorts, they'll learn about the CompTIA Security Plus exam, and they'll also learn about transferable skills they can use in cybersecurity. And with AI now, we do have a new curriculum where we teach them AI essentials and also AI governance. So people are getting services and people are getting new skills that will help them climb that social ladder, and it'll also help them stay up to date because if we really think about it, a lot of the jobs that we used to do are being automated or they're being depreciated, right? Deprecated. And I always want to make sure that my population understands that, hey, you don't have to suffer or you don't have to work the same mundane job. There's always new pathways. You just have to put your mind to it. And if you can see it, you can achieve it. And from there on, it's just really about making sure that everyone is working on the mission. And then you had a second question. Could you repeat that second question again?
Sure. The second question is that, the money that comes into Tech Hub, you speak about how you give back to the community. So can you
Yeah,
let me know
absolutely.
what type of pay it forward you do for the community?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm very big on giving back to teachers and students in the community. So we always have back to school drives every year. It is a must. Okay. So last year, we worked with a local barbershop in Houston, and we gave away about 25 backpacks, right? Pens, paper, pencils, erasers, everything a student needs. So giving back to the community, uh, I'm always a champion on that. How can we give back to the community? How can we help people? Because teachers can struggle with getting their students supplies, but also, we want to make sure that families who are in need are definitely taken care of.
I love that, Deontay. I think it's wonderful that you do that for your community.
For sure.
So, something you said earlier is a good shift into industry trends.
Right.
So, as the CEO, you've got a front row seat into the evolution of that digital transformation that's happening in cybersecurity and in artificial intelligence.
Right.
So, what are the big trends or shifts that you currently see defining the next few years for tech services and automation?
Yeah. So let's think about it in a few ways. Well, number one, a big shift is automation of jobs. Okay. Uh, if you think about it, a lot of people are not getting hired, and it's at an alarming rate. I believe that with AI, a lot of big companies, we can talk about the Salesforces and the Amazons and the Netflixes, they're using more AI, and people, uh, I would say that people are getting hired less. And then the current staff who are at, different companies, right? I feel like they're being pushed with more work, right? We have this AI we can leverage. And then we have this work, and then in the middle, it's like, hey, we're not going to hire too many different people or too many new people. So I feel like the big trends are we're hiring less, and then we're using more AI. So I'm talking about Copilot, I'm talking about ChatGPT to get work done. Okay. So if you can leverage that, you can possibly, cut payroll because that's sometimes, most of the time, the biggest expense for companies is payroll. And the challenge there, I believe, is that, someone that is new trying to get into cybersecurity or AI, they have to basically climb a mountain and then fight other people who are qualified. And in that sense, it's kind of disheartening. It's kind of like, hey, I want to get into this field. However, it's not going in my favor because companies may not want to hire me, or companies are going the route of, hey, let's use AI as a type of addition to my current employees, right? So those are the big trends I'm seeing. I'm seeing that the job market is incredibly tough for new grads. I'm also seeing that the amount of people who are hired has been decreasing. So those are usually like big trends that I'm seeing right now. Um, and I'm trying to think of another big trend. But in the meantime, you can ask a few questions about what I just said. That would be better.
Yeah, of course. Well, I think that's a great piece, right? So when it comes to looking at that specifically, you're
Yeah,
talking about, new grads can't get out into the market,
yeah.
they can't find jobs. What suggestions do you have for people that are early on in their careers to either find a job, but then also make their job valuable so they don't get replaced by AI?
Yeah, I mean, suggestions number one is to always stand out, network. Okay, so I'll go deeper into that, give you a little bit more context. So always standing out, making sure that you have some type of portfolio that shows your work, and showing your work could mean you have uh, a few projects on GitHub, or you have a digital portfolio that you've made on Canva or something like that, and getting in front of people, right? So I believe that networking can be a lost art because in this digital world, we're always meeting by Zoom or Skype, etc. Uh, but actually having that human touch, and then when you're talking to someone, just really be genuinely interested in them and what they do, how they got their experience. Because I feel like, if you have great conversation, if you're invested into someone and their journey, that they will pay it forward and you don't even have to ask for that, right? So being creative is also a good thing too. Okay. So the people who come through our cohorts, I always tell them, hey, if you are wanting to get into this industry, it takes a lot of continuing education. It does take a lot of grit. And some days you may not want to do it, but go to your local cybersecurity engineer who you may work with at your current job and ask them, how'd you get into the industry? What tools do you use? Do you use Metasploit? Do you use Splunk? Uh, what got you from A to B? And don't necessarily take that idea, but you want to be creative and put your own type of blend onto it to help you propel you to where you want to be. So I think those are good pointers for people. Um, if you want to do something, write it down, have those goals, and just stay on it. Right, persistence is key, and I think that that helps a lot of people get to where they need to be.
Do you have any motivation for the ones that are trying to be persistent, but they just keep hitting the walls and need that extra little bit of push to get there?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that if you feel stuck in a rut, you may want to go to the drawing board. So, for an example, I use Notion as something where I write my goals down, and I look at where I'm at and where I'm supposed to be. And if there's like a cog, or the system is stalled, I go back and I can see where I can improve. But always being curious is key. How can I be better at Wireshark? How can I be better at, looking the part at a networking event? Where can I go to find out, new software trends or new AI trends? Am I reading the AI technology newsletter every single day? Right. I always said that life is consistency. We have to be consistent to order to achieve our goals. If we're going to, make life and live it to the fullest, right? We might as well be consistent in everything we do. So that is my advice to someone that feels stuck or someone that feels like they're just not getting in their way. You can see it, you can believe it, and you can go after it.
I like it. That sounded motivational.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's now focus on the current state of your business. When you
Okay.
think about TekHub Labs, what's working really well right now for the company?
Yeah, I would say grants grants are pretty good right now, but looking to get more AI related grants. I think that would be beautiful. Another good thing is branding has been well. We have an excellent brand management system. We usually hire consultants to help us with that. And another thing that is going well is people are passing their exams or, companies are learning more about cybersecurity and how to protect their security posture.
Are there any wins that you're particularly proud of that have occurred recently?
Yeah, last year, we had a collaboration with Microsoft. We still do have that partnership. And then we also worked with Afrotech, right? That's one of the biggest, you know, uh, cybersecurity conference for the people of color. So that was a really good win. So exceeded company goals. We also track that to make sure that we are hitting those milestones, right? And we're at a place where we have good enough revenue to take care of the people we need to, right? Won't say that we're multi-million dollars, right? But as a nonprofit, we're doing pretty good to impact the people in our community.
That's great.
Yeah.
So then on the flip side, what's the biggest challenge you're encountering recently?
Yeah, I mean, I believe the biggest challenge would be customer retention, making sure people follow through with what they say they want to do. Okay. So, we get a big sample size from, state of Texas and from different groups that are tech related, but people committing to what they say they want to do, it could prove challenging, right? Um, we have to think that we're in the business of serving people, but at the end of the day, people have to serve themselves as well, right? We'll hold your hand and will champion you to the finish line. But you just never know what someone's going through. Okay. So we have people that come in, they could be going through a divorce or they could be going through a challenging time of being in between jobs, or, they could have health related issues. And you learning something that looks like rocket science to you is very challenging and tough, and you doubt yourself, or that inner voice says, I, I don't know if I can actually do this. I don't know if this is my calling. Like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this for the money? Am I doing this to have a better life? Am I doing this just to work remote? So, a lot of those internal fights usually end up in people not going through, and we have to constantly re-engage them, constantly, uh, talk them into reaching new heights. So that would be our challenges.
And when you talk about re-engaging, is that a manual process?
Re-engaging can be both manual and it can be both automatic. So social media, I would say, would be automatic. Manual would be being right in front of the people, engaging them, and understanding where their strengths and weakness lies. Because you're actually doing that in real time is could be tough. Okay, but it's all about reading people. It's all about understanding uh, people's motivations and getting them to a place where they know they can go.
Gotcha. So is there anything as the founder of the company that keeps you up at night?
Yeah, I mean, I would say making sure that uh, my internal staff is good in terms of being rewarded and compensated. Again, we turned into a nonprofit recently, and making sure that hey, we got grants that can help other people uh, with getting into AI and cybersecurity, but also I have to make sure that staff are rewarded properly because they're one of the life and oil to the machine. So I want to make sure that people are appreciated, people are uh, just making sure that they're hitting their milestones and goals. And I also want to make sure that they know that I care about them. They know that I want to see them do well.
That's great. And is there anything specific you do to make them feel that?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do an occasional pizza party. No, I'm playing. But uh always make sure that they have different opportunities, whether that is you know, uh going to different conferences or making sure that we do like a team dinner or brunch. So always showing them that I care, giving them access to different amenities in Houston, etc. And definitely you know, what do you call those things? I'm drawing a blank. uh, like gift cards. Gift cards are pretty good. So I always want to celebrate my team at the end of the day because that's what happened to me growing up. If I did well, I would be given gifts here and there, just for doing a good job. And that made me feel appreciated. So I should definitely do it back.
Awesome. So let's look into the future now. We're going to start with the industry. In the
Okay.
next 6 to 12 months, what do you see happening because of all this AI and technology advancement?
Yeah. So definitely what I see is less people being hired, number one. I also see a lot more AI dependence in technology stacks. So, we have things like Docker, Kubernetes, etc. And, you have those AI capabilities on Amazon, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. What you're going to really see is a lot of, dependency on AI to handle processes, right? Handle big data. And we won't really need a whole bunch of engineers, I feel, but you will need people watching the process in the background. We'll have a whole bunch of AI governance professionals, which is, if people don't know what AI governance is basically making sure that AI does what it's supposed to and it does not infringe on customer data, doesn't uh, leak data or anything like that, because you have to have some safeguards on AI. You have to have safeguards within AI in your environment. And when you're in these companies, right, we do proper risk assessments, right? And if people don't know what a risk assessment is, it's basically saying that if I introduce this new technology in my technology stack, what are the implications? Uh, well, the implications, will it be that our process document integrates with Copilot and we can give information to my employees, but that information comes with a price. It could be uh, publicly integrated in Copilot's database, or it could be, hey, I'm a consumer at XYZ company, and all my personal data is used for testing. And do I want that to be tested or not? So I believe that people should understand what AI does and understand what AI does with their information, even if you're just the average consumer. So I feel like that's going to be a trend, right? More AI governance professionals, more AI in the tech stack.
All right. Now, when you look at your own company for TekHub Labs, same thing. What are the main like milestones or goals you're trying to hit over the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in the 6 to 12 months, uh, definitely AI related grants. That's going to be uh, very important because we're shifting toward this new thinking. We want people to get that AI training, and we want professionals to come in and teach people AI in the most professional and the most curious and the most efficient way. I'm not an AI guru. I'm learning here and there, but I always want people who are more educated than me to come in and give people the services and the knowledge that they need. Another thing that we want to do is that we want to hit more nonprofit agencies, other nonprofits. So other nonprofits may have students who may be coming from, juvenile detention, or students who are just general after school programs, etc. We want to expand to those. We want to expand to people who are coming from halfway houses or coming home from prison. We want to give them different skills so that they can have a career moving forward. So those are our two biggest goals: AI grants and touching more organizations.
And how do you get into those organizations?
Yeah, I mean, simple phone call. Same thing you did with me. You sent me an email and setting up those phone calls. Someone has to be the driver, someone has to be the champion, someone has to be a person that is very charming to hook those organizations in. We talk to them, get that meeting done, and then we have that contract written out, and then we are good to go to start training.
Gotcha. So, if you had like a magic wand to instantly fix the one thing that you feel is like holding back your business or slowing down the growth that you're trying to get to, what do you think it would be?
I would say if I had a magic wand, I would just say a marketing team. If we can whoosh, have a big marketing team, because marketing is no easy feat. I've been an entrepreneur for years. I've been serving people for a long time, and marketing was never my strong suit at all. Processes, I can write down numbers, analytics, I can figure things out. Marketing is something that is very important to anyone's business. And if we had a full-fledged marketing department, that would be lovely. I've spent a lot of money on marketing, and I would say that you see the results year by year, inch by inch. But I wish the analytics would just go crazy if we had a magic wand. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's a powerful one. I
yeah.
mean, when you think about that, what do you think would change the most if that problem disappeared?
I would think if that problem disappeared, we would have more engagement. So meaning that we would have people from Alaska, from Maryland, from Chicago, from the UK, from other European countries. They would come to our website and be like, "Hey, you know what? I heard about y'all through Instagram ads. I've heard about you through Google ads. I want to sign up. Where do I go? Who do I talk to?" I think that would be something that it would uh, make the business have more engagement and customer retention.
Gotcha. So before we outro, do you have any final words for those cybersecurity professionals or even the community that you're talking about, that are looking for that North Star or kind of shining light that they need to latch onto? What are the words of wisdom you have for them?
Yeah, I would say at the end of it, always be curious. Always make sure that you are up to date on the latest trends, but also get out there in person, talk to people, understand their interests. I wouldn't say don't go hassling people for jobs, but understand what you're looking at, and at least spend 2 hours a day sharpening your skill set. That will take you farther than we could ever do. Always honing on your craft, be consistent, and things will open up. And it just takes time. It does take time. And I know people want to get things right then and there, but it takes time to perfect the craft. And once you perfect it, the people that you serve will thank you forever.
That was fantastic, Deontay. I really appreciate you taking the time today to share your story and your insights.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah, I mean, especially with what you're building at Tech Lab Hubs, it's truly representing where the industry is heading. From blending the technology, the automation, your training approaches, it's something practical that I think everybody needs, not only for their own businesses, but just like you said, serving back to the community. So
Mhm.
for everyone listening, you can learn more about Deontay and his team by visiting techhublabs.com, and that's TEK as in kangaroo. If you join today's episode, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on these future conversations just like this one. And of course, click that bell icon if you're watching on YouTube so you'll be notified when the next episode of The Digital Shift drops. Deontay, thanks again for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. And again, for everybody else, we'll have all these awesome links down the description. Yeah, Deontay, thank you again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey there, it's Darren from The Digital Shift. I wanted to take a moment to thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the links in the description to learn even more information of everything we went over today. But if you enjoyed this podcast, then you are absolutely going to love this one. And if you're looking to look deeper into the technology that we go over in these videos, then go ahead and check out this one here. Regardless of which one you pick, you're going to walk away with something new. As always, I'll talk to you in the next one and keep being awesome.